for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. In obituary news this morning, Mary Ofambi, age 80, died May 25th. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary will announce the arrangements. Online condolences at terrysmortuary.com. Mr. John McCarty died at his residence on Tuesday. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, announcing. And funeral arrangements to be announced for Mrs. Janice Vines. Those arrangements to be announced as well by Curtis and Son Funeral Home in Sylacauga. And Mr. Joe Murphy died on Tuesday, and he is survived by his wife of 33 years, Betty Murphy of Alexander City. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at raddayfuneralhome.com. Mr. Murphy attended Bethel Baptist Church, and actually he was born in Dublin, Ireland in 1954. Wow. Radley Funeral Home in Alexander City in charge of the arrangement. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at raddayfuneralhome.com. Graveside service for Blake Live Oak, age 47, will be Friday at 2 o'clock from Mount Moriah Cemetery in Coosa County with Brother David Mann officiating. Mr. Live Oak died May 22nd at his residence. Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga directing in lieu of flowers. Contribution can be sent to the American Cancer Society. Radley Smith Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Shaquan Jackson will be Saturday, May 29th at 1 p.m. from Community Funeral Home Chapel in Sylacauga with burial in the Sylacauga Cemetery. Visitation Friday from 1 until 7 p.m. at the funeral home. Community Funeral Home in Sylacauga directing. And funeral service for Linda McNeil will be today at 1 p.m. from Community Funeral Home Chapel with burial in the Tallahatchie Cemetery in Childersburg. Community Funeral Home Sylacauga in charge of the arrangements. And a graveside service for Mary Virginia Jackson, age 97, will be Saturday at Talladega Springs Cemetery at 1 p.m. with Pastor Sarah Shelton officiating. In lieu of flowers, memorials can be made to the Hospice of West Alabama or Baptist Church of the Covenant. Ms. Jackson died at the age of 97 on May 21st in Tuscaloosa. She was born a graduate of Fayetteville High School and earned a B.S. in chemistry from the University of Alabama in 1948. Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga in charge of the arrangements. And Mr. Robert Preston Rhodes Jr., age 75, died May 24th. Grave service will be held this morning at 11 a.m. at Jefferson Memorial Gardens with Pastor Sam Huffstutler and Pastor Brian Vance officiating. Online condolences at EarthstreetFuneralHome.com. Earth Street Funeral Home in Pell City in charge of the arrangements. This obituary report this morning, courtesy of Curtis and Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. For pre-need funerals, burials, and cremation since 1975, Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.